Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. We extend you a very warm welcome. It's a green morning, green afternoon, green evening, depending on the time zone and the country and the continent, wherever you are. If you are in Canada, United States, and Latin America, it's a wonderful green morning for all of you. If you're somewhere in the Europe and somewhere nearby, it's a post lunch time, and you must be going for your evening tea and a coffee and your siesta. And people, those are in beautiful Bharat and surrounding Bharat. It's a wonderful green evening for all of you. We extend a very warm welcome. Thank you very much for being a part. Today, ladies and gentlemen, what we are discussing, it's a thorough research, and there's a lot of work which has been done on to because new education policy, the National Education Policy 2020, which was announced on 29th of July in the thick of the pandemic, because 25th, if you remember, 25th March onward, everything was closed in 2020 in the country, complete lockdown. And how during the thick of the pandemic, the National Education Policy came as a ray of a hope almost after 34 years. What exactly it was, what does it convey, what is the roadmap, what is the future? One is the policy, thereafter policy implementation, then is the policy monitoring, and then seeing the results of entire policy, how it comes out to be. Ladies and gentlemen, for the development of any country, if you really want to see equality, equity, collaboration, human development, human growth, world over peaceful living by everybody, then there is only one tool, and that's called education. Education and skills. If you provide right skills to the right children at the right age, at the right time, in the right packaging, their skills will get converted into their competencies into their talents, and talents, match somewhere with their passion, and passion becomes the profession. And thereafter, you see the national development and the growth of anybody and everybody. That's the way you have to look at it. So welcome to the special program, which is coming to you live on the YouTube channel @ICSI India Live, @ICSI India Live. Be a part of it. Let's enjoy together. And we move on with this particular program. And we have got lots to discuss with all of us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, is a link between India and our 32 million Indian diaspora, our brothers and sisters, those have gone across the globe. Welcome to National Education Policy 2020. Right from the 1947, when India got independence, what changes has come? You can just see it. This program is going live. People, those are historians, those are interested to know how exactly it started, how we started initially spending what money, how much money, how many colleges, how many universities, what kind of education policy had come from time to time. And we will see in different phases. But here is the complete canvas, which you can see and enjoy yourself. Now, education is about training of mind to think, to explore, to be curious, to bring creativity, to bring collaboration, and at the same time, how the human development, not about filling it up with information. Children, they don't need information anymore. Gone is the time. There is no need of more theory. Everything theoretical. And children, they got to be practical, and there's going to be a self-paced learning. What is lacking in education ecosystem, and what is the relevance of what is being imparted? There's a lot being discussed. So 29th of July, 2020, Transforming India, National Education Policy, how it is important. We have come a long way. Do you remember that we used to initially talk about Kothari Commission and Kothari Commission's recommendations. And then we came to, if you remember, 1986 also there was a policy. There were minor changes in then 1992. And then, of course, 2016 onward, they started thinking how to bring change in the education ecosystem, how to impart practical knowledge, how to have the multidisciplinary courses, how to have multilingualism, how to bring skills and competencies as the integral part of education ecosystem. Now, post-pandemic, we all should realize parents, माता पिता, बच्चों के आपको समझ आया होगा कि कोरोना काल के अंदर how difficult it is for the educators, teachers, principals, headmasters, vice chancellors, everybody to keep intact your children, to take care of your children like parents is the most difficult role. So in the ecosystem, parents are also now integral part, equally responsible like administrator. Those are principals, directors, vice chancellors, along with them teachers, educators, along with them lecturers, and then of course subject specifics and extracurriculars and sports and all that when we talk about students, and finally parents. So there are four pillars, there are four stakeholders, those are responsible for the entire system. Welcome to National Education Policy, New Education Policy, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not getting into too many things in detail. It is self-explanatory. You must see what changes have come. Earlier it was 10+2. Now you've got foundation, you've got preparatory, you've got primary, you've got middle, you've got secondary, and how it is bringing a change in the new academic structures. Are we focusing more on quality or on quantity? Are we focusing on access or are we focusing on equity? At the same time, what percentage of our GDP is actually being spent currently in India as far as the education ecosystem is concerned? And if we really want to see a change, if you want to really build national character, if you really want that today's children and tomorrow's leaders, they should be proud of what exactly India is doing, then we got to increase the percentage in the GDP as far as the education ecosystem is concerned. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about it, something comes to my mind. I would like to bring in more illumination in the light and the life of everybody. Now, what could be, because there's a more brightness now, and you can see 29 July 2020, what all changes have taken place, how it's getting, and what are the key principles of the National Education Policy 2020. Now, first of all, we got to respect for the diversity and the local context in everything, curriculum, pedagogy, policy, everything. Thereafter, you move to equity and inclusion. You move to community participation, uplifting. There got to be a philanthropic work. Private sector has to come forward. There has to be a community participation in all respects, using the technology the best possible way. जैसे मैं भी बहुत पैशनेट हूं, टेक्नोलॉजी के बगैर कुछ नहीं हो सकता. You got to seep in and you got to bring the technology the best possible way, and that is something very important, because when you pick up technology, it removes a lot of language barriers, couple of other problems, because you move in with technology with the quantity also and the quality also. You got to emphasize the conceptual understanding, learning, all that has to come. There got to be a unique capabilities, recognizing and tapping each student, the best possible way. There got to be a critical thinking, creative thinking, analytical thinking, logical thinking, out of the box thinking. And this is all to boost logical decisions and making, the best possible way through innovation, curiosity, and creativity. So now When you talk about it, preschool, foundation, what is the grade 1 and 2? Thereafter, you come to preparatory, and that is grade 3, 4, and 5. Then you come to middle, 6th, 7th, and 8th, how the skills keep coming to you right from that age. And then you come to secondary, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, all that. So foundational stage, when you talk about 3 years preschool and 2 years, that is your class 1 and class 2. Thereafter, you come to 3 years program, and that is age group somewhere 9, 10, and 11. That is class 3, 4th, and 5th, where there is a more activity-based learning, and there's a preferable medium of instruction, which is your mother tongue, your regional language. All that depends on you. However, school can teach in English language as well, depending on them, and then different mode of activities. And then comes middle stage, that is your 3 years program, 6th, 7th, and 8th. The best part is that your computer knowledge, your coding and everything starts right from 6th standard. And the age group is somewhere 12, 13, and 14. Vocational comes in a very big way. Technical education is also moving in. And one of the Indian languages to be taught at this stage, but it is optional. You can take any language. 10 days internship program in the curriculum. That is fantastic. Bagless school. You come without bags to the school and you enjoy every day. I'm pretty sure the people, those are joining this particular program, your children, whatever age group they are, relate to that and try and see how can you give them the best education and skills. And then comes the secondary stage, that is 4 years, class 9, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And here the age group 15, 16, 17, and goes up to 18 also. No stream, semester system examination, multiple subjects, emphasis is on the critical thinking. One of the foreign languages, once again, it is up to you what you can take, but it is optional except Mandarin. That you got to learn. And there's a learning plan. How do you move up in the education, whether school education or higher education? And as I mentioned to you earlier, just changing the name from Ministry of Human Resources Development to Ministry of Education alone is not going to help much unless in a realistic terms, in a logical, holistic way, we try and increase the budget. Teachers got to be happy, educators got to be happy, students got to be happy, education got to be affordable, and at the same time, it got to reach the last mile to the last person, wherever the people are. It does not make a difference whether you are in Pathankot or you are all the way in the last village, that is Kibtu, and which is just next to the border area with China. And you have got a Dong village where the sun rises early in the morning. The first ray of the hope and the ray of the sun comes to India. India's NEP 2020, when you talk about the learning environment, it got to be discovery based. It got to be simplified. The curriculum got to be fun, activity based, and it should be integrated in such a way it's joyful learning. Special focus to be given on sports, games, all around your health and your wellness, your nutrition. Your children are gifted today. They've got wonderful skills. And then at the same time, they should know about their India also. They should know about their beautiful Bharat also. They've got to be a peering concept, how you collaborate with each other, and peer, tutoring, that also has to take place. Multidisciplinary, holistic learning has to be there. There got to be a scientific temper. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? क्यों हो रहा है? किस तरीके से हो रहा है? Machine learning, artificial intelligence, smart apps, computational skill development, all that has to take care of caring the disadvantaged students sufficiently. कोई भी जो प्रभु का भेजा हुआ इंसान यहाँ पर है, वो कैसा है, ये सब प्रभु के हाथ में है. उन्होंने उनको वैसा बनाया है. और vocational training, role models, your soft skills, your life skills, your etiquette, your manner, your gesture, your body language, your personality, your communication to connecting All these things are so important for each one of you. और ये देखिए आपका मस्तिष्क, जब हम इसकी बातचीत करते हैं तो क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग कैसे हो, एनालिटिकल थिंकिंग कैसे हो, कॉग्निटिव स्किल्स को कैसे डेवलप करें, उन सब चीजों को कैसे लेकर चलें. You got to be emotional, you got to be empathetic, you got to see from others' point of view, you got to be human. That is something very important. Now, what could be the ideal teaching and the counseling staff? You got to empower and you got to prepare every student with all the desired and the required skills which are needed today to live and to face the modern world. देखिए समय बदल गया, सब कुछ बदल गया. रात को आप सोएं और सुबह जब आप उठते हैं तो आप ये सोचकर चलिए कि सब कुछ बदल रहा है, सारा कुछ बहुत तेजी से बदल रहा है. और अगर मैं स्कूल एजुकेशन की, जब आप पूरी नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को पढ़ेंगे तो you would see the most important thing when you come to 5.8 to 5.14, everything which is covered initially over there, your service environment and culture. अब उसके अंदर नेचर की भी रेस्पेक्ट करना, वातावरण को भी समझना. देखिए कोरोना के अंदर जब सब लोग अपने घरों में थे तो गंगा भी क्लीन हो गई, आसपास के पौधे भी अपने आप पनपने लगे, पक्षियों की that the chirping of the birds, that was also being heard everywhere so softly early in the morning with the time. When you come to higher education and when you talk about creativity, 21st century skills, critical thinking, collaborative, all that, when you talk about this, all is moving towards holistic education. Now, when you talk about holistic education, what could be the dimensions of the holistic student development? Their intellectual development, physical development, cultural development, their moral development, their social development, and most important in life is their emotional development. दूसरों के दर्द में आपको दर्द महसूस हो और दूसरों के सुख में आपको अपना सुख महसूस हो. That is something very important. इन सब चीजों को अगर हम लेकर चले तो सबसे पहले what do we have to bring in education? We got to instill the curiosity and creativity. Do you remember? Spark the curiosity. That was yesterday's program, which we have done. So today we have come with the new education policy because we thought, let's discuss what government is talking about, how it is coming in a big way. Encourage the children to connect with the subjects using their creativity. They should enjoy, develop psychological, social, and emotional growth. Make learning a fun, joyful, and meaningful experiences. It should be relevant to our day-to-day life. And at the same time, develop better communication skills and confidence in every child. Value relationship and face challenges with the high resilience. All that we have to take into consideration when this particular holistic education of the new education policy has to be taken into considerations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the journey so far and the way ahead, when you talk about, you must be knowing there is a parak. There's the performance assessment, review, and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. Now, this is the equity and the excellence in assessments which is being taken. Then there's a 360-degree multi-dimensional report for all the students. बच्चों को assess अपने आप को भी करना होगा. They'll be assessed by teachers also. They'll be assessed by their peer groups also. And they'll be assessed by their parents also. Then comes the Diksha portal. When you talk about Diksha, it's your digital infrastructure for school education. And there's a Diksha app also, which you can download on your mobile phone. It's a 30+ languages, 4,400+ courses on Diksha, 4,600 when you talk about ETBs on Diksha. ETB is energized textbooks. That means your online books or your electronic books, all that you can enjoy. That is something fantastic. Then there is 220,000 pieces of e-content live on Diksha. Average daily page hits 5+ crore. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So it's right over here. You must make best use of it. Then come Nishtha, National Initiative for School Heads and Teachers Holistic Assessment. आपको पता है कि निष्ठा 1.0 में एलिमेंट्री लेवल पर, निष्ठा 2.0 में सेकेंडरी लेवल पर, निष्ठा 3.0 में फाउंडेशन लिटरेसी एंड न्यूमरेसी पर, और निष्ठा 4.0 में अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एंड एजुकेशन पर teachers, educators, they also have to undergo 50 hours training every year to make their education relevant. Because whatever you're imparting to the students, that is something very important. E-Pathshala, isko bhi agar aap dekhenge, you can access the e-books. And when you talk about this, is right from the class 1 to the class 12th. It's a free, it's on ePathshala website, and you can have the mobile app also. It is on Android, or you can have on iPhone, or you can have on your multiple languages. All that is available, epathshala.nic.in, which you can go through, you can enjoy, and you can take the benefit. Then comes the Swayam portal, Shikshit Bharat, Unnat Bharat. Study the webs of active learning for young aspiring minds. It's a free online education, swayam.gov.in. A massive open line courses. MOOC के बारे में आपने सुना होगा. This platform offers online courses of NCERT. Then there's a Prime Minister e-Vidya, a comprehensive digital online, it's all education initiative which has been taken, and you can see what all is available over here. Then there is a Swayam Prabha 34 DTH, that is your direct to home. You can enjoy the educational channels, and they're available. You can see it right over here. Channel number 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What all they have got for school education, higher education. This is artificial intelligence for all. Ye class 10th ke andar, as per new education policy 2020. Can you go through, when you talk about AR, VR, metaverse, you talk about artificial intelligence coming in a very big way. Now, the last 2 years, right from 29th of July 2020, when the new education policy was given to nation, the development which has taken place in the last 2 years, there's a national education policy implementation. And here's the report which has come from the Ministry of Education. It was published. It's available. It's November 2022. If you go on Ministry of Education, you can see right over there, Department of School Education and Literacy. There's a complete framework which you have got. Then there is a National Curriculum Framework. That is your NCF for the school education. This has also come from the NCERT in 2023. You can go through, you can see National Education Policy 2020. When we talk about, it is transforming higher education also. Government ka focus kya hai? Government ka focus ye hai, how to reach at least 50%, when you talk about increase in the GER, that is your gross enrollment ratio. जो बच्चे हायर एजुकेशन में आ रहे हैं, वो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 27% के करीब है अभी, उसको 50% तक कैसे लेकर जाएं, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी हॉलिस्टिक एजुकेशन कैसे हो, और उसी के साथ साथ बहुत सारी और चीजें हैं. मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी एजुकेशन एंड रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटीज आ रही हैं, नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन है. And if you go through, you'll find how the digital university is also coming in a big way, and they propose to start from July 2023. And then the foreign universities are also allowed to set up their campuses in India. So Indians, instead of going abroad, they can take the same education right over here. Now, when you talk about reforming the higher education, ladies and gentlemen, it is ensuring the universal access to the education at all levels, multiple pathways. You have got, the learning outcomes are wonderful, and you got to bring back the dropouts also. And then you've got alternative centers. Then you've got peer tutoring. And at the same time, the government is planning that जो हमारे पास gross enrollment ratio है, when it is to be raised by 50% by 2035, that means 3.5 crore seats to be added in the higher education. Can you imagine? Present जो existing है, उसमें growth लाना है. Timeline for the implementation in NEP 2020, this you can see right from 2021 right up to 2040, what all is the timeline for implementation for this policy in different phases. And then, of course, when you talk about the union budget of February 2023, there's a National Digital Library for Children and Adolescents. At the same time, in the budget, if you see, which was announced by Madam Nirmala Sitharamanji, that is 157 new nursing colleges to be established, 38,800 teachers, support staff recruitments, that is in the Eklavya model residential schools for the tribals, 3 new centers of excellence for artificial intelligence in top educational institutions. At the same time, when you talk about National Academic Depository, now this NAD, when you talk about, that means आपके जो सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं वो इधर उधर ना हो जाएं, उन सबको एक जगह रखना, that all is under National Academic Depository. And if you look at it, till this time, almost 1,985 higher education institutions, they have got registered, and total awards lodged so far, that is 13.13 crores. So you can well imagine how big is the figure. इतने बच्चों के डॉक्यूमेंट्स और वो सब चीजें एक डिजिटल रिपोजिटरी में ऑफ द एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन, उसमें सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज भी हैं, स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी भी हैं, प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी भी हैं, सेंटर के जो हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन है, डीम्ड टू बी यूनिवर्सिटी, कॉलेजेस, ऑटोनमस कॉलेजेस, वो भी हैं. अक्टूबर 2020 में यूजीसी ने डिजिटल यूनिवर्सिटी की काफी बातचीत की थी डिटेल में, and a lot of detailed work was done. Here is the report. We are keeping it for you. So how the credit transfers will take place, how can you shift from one university to another university, how in a digital way you can bring that education at par with the regular education or otherwise. फिर एक फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज की भी बातचीत हुई कि उनके कैंपसेस इंडिया में आना. एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ दिस ईयर 2023, there's a way out. You can study on foreign university campuses without leaving your homeland. That means the foreign universities and foreign institutions coming to India. And now on 1st of June, अब आप देखिए आज 2nd है, मैं कल की बातचीत कर रहा हूं. अगर आप कल के डिटेल्स में अगर आप जाएंगे तो आपको पहली बात तो एजुकेशन टाइम्स पढ़िए आप मंडे का, ठीक है, एजुकेशन टाइम्स आप पढ़िएगा मंडे का. I think the moment you go on to the second page inside, you'll be able to see UGC's new initiative, NEP Sarthi, to involve students in implementing new education policy 2020. ये NEP Sarthi का क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है, यूजीसी ने क्या रिकमेंड किया है कि यूनिवर्सिटीज, इंस्टीट्यूशंस अपने यहाँ से 3 अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स जिनकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अच्छी हैं, and 6th of June is the last date to register. And that is basically, it is to urge the vice chancellors, directors, and principals of the higher education institutions to nominate 3 students from their institutions to be considered as NEP Sarthis. अब यूजीसी ने ये अनाउंस जो किया है इनिशिएटिव, इसके अंदर जो स्टूडेंट एम्बेसडर फॉर एकेडमिक रिफॉर्म्स इन ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग हायर एजुकेशन इन इंडिया to involve the students in implementation of the new education policy 2020. अगर आप इस चीज को देखेंगे तो you would really enjoy what he has conveyed and what he has given. Here is the chairman of the UGC, and when I was listening to him, I enjoyed his entire video. For a minute, you can also enjoy it
on all our social media platforms. Friends, I would like to thank you on behalf of UGC for joining in this program. This program has 3 parts. We have announced about this e-Samvad a week or 10 days ago, and many of you have responded with questions on our social media platforms. We will first answer those questions. And then during the program, as we are discussing, it is quite possible that some of you may put some questions in the chat boxes of the social media platforms. And our officers will collect those questions and pass on to me. And we will again try to answer those.
So this is available on the UGC web portal. You can go on to their web portal and you can see it over there, because I have subscribed the channel and I come to know immediately when something comes from the UGC. It's very meaningful, and the chairman has taken lots of initiative. He has clarified a lot of things, and this video is worth watching. And this has just come, and I would request that please go through. Now, ladies and gentlemen, comes the initiative of our chamber, which I wish to discuss with all of you. You know, before pandemic, हम लोग जो है टाइम के साथ सब कुछ चेंज होता है, सारी चीजें चेंज होती हैं. आपको भी ये समझना पड़ेगा कि बिफोर पैंडेमिक दुनिया कुछ और थी, लेकिन पैंडेमिक के बाद दुनिया बदल गई है. आपको भी बदलना पड़ेगा टाइम के साथ, और अगर आप टाइम के साथ नहीं बदलेंगे तो टाइम आपको पीछे छोड़ जाएगा. इसलिए यू गॉट टू बिकम डिजिटल, यू गॉट टू बिकम टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड, एंड दिस इज दिल. और दिल की जब हम बात करते हैं तो दिल की हमारी फुल फॉर्म है डिजिटल इंस्पिरेशनल लैब. Pandemic se pehle, it was a finishing school, brick and mortar, with the personality development, communication skills, etiquette, manners, gesture, body language, communication, everything was being taught, including the computer skills and language skills and everything. लेकिन pandemic के बाद सब कुछ बदल गया. You don't need anything now on ground. You can go digital. You can just talk to the people. अब आप देखिए कितने लोग पूरे विश्व में, world over, the people can enjoy and they can come to know what exactly is the new education policy 2020 of India, what initiatives have been taken, what is coming through. मुझे याद आ रहा है रूसा, राष्ट्रीय उच्चतर शिक्षा अभियान. You know, when Ministry of Human Resources Development, when that document was being made, I still recall we had given the concept paper, why not we should have the finishing school also as an integral part of the education ecosystem. And it was taken so well. So many institutions adopted that. And I'm very happy that a lot of universities and a lot of colleges and, you know, the setups throughout India, they went ahead with the finishing school concept, which we brought way back in 1994 with the help of the non-resident Indian and the corporate houses. But during pandemic, we realized that the things got to change. It cannot be now physical. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, now digital inspirational lab. ये क्या चीज है? ये क्या सजेस्ट कर रहे हैं? पहले आइए फिनिशिंग स्कूल को देखते हैं. This was brick and mortar since 1994 for the services sector, where the personality development, communication skills, collaboration, creativity, innovation, curiosity, critical thinking, design thinking, continuous lifelong learning. और ये सब कुछ किसके साथ था? Music, humor, fun, dance, happiness, passion, and joyful learning. And you got to remember Swami Vivekananda ji here. You should say all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in yourself. And always when you get up in the morning and before you sleep, talk to yourself and say, I can do it, I will do it, and I must do it. That is the way you got to be. Here is the complete setup of our finishing school. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a beautiful concept which we created on the ground. And we are proud to share that more than 52,000 youth and 35,000 teachers, they all became the part of the service industry through this. It was to overcome your anxiety, your stress, your depression, and telling yourself, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I must do it, I will do it. And that's the way it was the finishing school. And when we talk about post-pandemic, the digital inspirational lab, why not? In the entire education ecosystem, you've got physics lab, chemistry lab, bio lab, computer lab, microbiome lab, language lab, computer lab. Why not inspirational lab? Why not? because every child's curiosity, creativity, imagination, innovation, design thinking, critical thinking, adaptive learning, immersive learning, project-based learning, technology-based learning, joyful learning, nature-based learning with the empathy has to be brought, because we focus on children physical and बच्चों के साथ साथ teachers भी physical health, family and relationship, and at the same time you got to have some kind of a रोजगार, काम तो चाहिए, जीवन तो है, उसके साथ साथ आपकी mental strength and mental wellness, spiritual wellness, work and career growth. There is no price tag to the mental peace, ladies and gentlemen. You all got to understand. There is no price tag. Nothing of that kind. इसकी कोई कीमत नहीं है. मेंटल पीस हर एक को चाहिए. मेंटल पीस कैसे मिलेगा? This is a methodology. Innovative teachers capacity building and youth empowerment program through the digital inspirational lab, where we are making education and skills relevant for everybody. And the mode is phygital. When you say digital, we say phygital. When you say hybrid, when you say flip learning, कुछ क्लास में कुछ वैसे, ये डिपेंड करेगा कि आप क्या चाहते हैं, कैसे चाहते हैं. That is something very important. So ladies and gentlemen, you got to unleash the power, what you have got in you through digitalization in education and skills. और ये देखिए, दिल को हमने कितने प्यार से संभाला है. पूरे विश्व की बात कर रहे हैं हम. मेंटल वेलनेस, फिजिकल वेलनेस, प्रोफेशनल वेलनेस, सोशल वेलनेस, ग्लोबल वेलनेस एंड इकोनॉमिक वेलनेस, ये सब चीज चल रही है आप सबके साथ. जब इसको हम लेकर चलते हैं, this is something very important which we all have to understand. ICSI की जो digital inspirational lab है, here we are focusing on soft skills, life skill, trade skill, global skill, because village to global आप कैसे जा सकते हैं? That is something fantastic which we are working for all of you. Your mental wellness, when we talk about, आपको खुश रहना है. Your personal wellness, अपना ख्याल रखिए. Professional wellness, काम अच्छा मिलेगा, अपनी तैयारी कीजिए और अपनी स्किल्स को लेकर आइए. कोई वजह ही नहीं है. You know, it's more than a job. It's a journey which you have to take into consideration. Your social wellness is very important, ladies and gentlemen. जिस समाज में आप रहते हैं, उस समाज में सब कुछ आपके साथ कैसा चलता है, you got to understand from that point of view. जो लोग मेरे साथ YouTube चैनल पर जुड़े हैं, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत आभार है. मैं आपके नाम जरूर पढ़ूंगा एट द एंड. मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि मैं आप सबके नाम पढ़ूं, और किसी का अच्छा कमेंट्स मिलेगा तो वो भी मैं जरूर पढ़ूंगा. और ये देखिए, हमारी जो डिजिटल इंस्पिरेशनल लैब है, इट्स वर्किंग विद द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स. आपको पता है कि यूनाइटेड नेशन ने 17 सस्टेनेबल गोल्स दिए हुए हैं. कोरोना के आने की वजह से देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ सेटबैक whatever people were planning to achieve, but that is something which you have to understand. Thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, your self-awareness, your self-efficacy and your social awareness lens के साथ देखिए कौन सी skills आपकी सबसे अच्छी हैं. And there are 4 C's in education. जब 4 C's की बात करते हैं, communication, collaboration, critical thinking and creativity. Very important. Education got to be purposeful. Education का कोई आउटकम होना चाहिए. कोई सब्जेक्ट अगर आप पढ़ते हैं या कोई स्किल आप लेते हैं तो उसका कुछ आउटकम होना चाहिए. Every child will have economic outcome, personal outcome, cultural outcome, social outcome, depending on their competencies, capabilities, hobbies, passion, interest, family culture, and their career paths. और हम डिजिटल इंस्पिरेशनल लैब के थ्रू, जैसा आपको बताया, आपकी सॉफ्ट स्किल्स, आपकी डिजिटल स्किल्स, आपकी लाइफ स्किल्स और आपकी ग्लोबल स्किल्स, दैट इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, डिजिटल इंस्पिरेशनल लैब में म्यूजिक है, डांस है, गेम्स है, खुशी है, ह्यूमर है, फन है, क्रिएटिविटी है, क्यूरियोसिटी है, स्टोरी टेलिंग है, नाना नानी की कहानियां, दादा दादी की कहानियां, चंदा मामा की कहानियां, चंपक की कहानियां, आर के लक्ष्मण की कहानियां, मालगुडी डेज की कहानियां, वो सब वहां पर हैं। इट इज स्ट्रेस फ्री एजुकेशन, इट इज नेचर बेस्ड एजुकेशन, इट इज वोकेशनल बेस्ड एजुकेशन। क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली जो कुछ भी आप बना रहे हो, किसके लिए बना रहे हो, और जिसके लिए बना रहे हो उससे कभी पूछा कि तुम क्या चाहते हो? Where is the youth happiness? What does youth want? यूथ को क्या अच्छा लगता है? ये कल के टॉपिक में अगर आपको याद रहा हो, कल जब हमने क्यूरियोसिटी की बातचीत की थी, स्पार्क द क्यूरियोसिटी. डू यू रिमेंबर यस्टरडेज प्रोग्राम? Bring happiness and humor in every activity. That is something very important. Now, education and competencies, they got to be relevant to our day-to-day life. सुबह उठने से रात के सोने तक हमारा पैशन, हमारी क्रिएटिविटी, हमारी इनोवेशन वो जगी रहनी चाहिए. और जो टीचर्स हैं, आपका रोल बदल गया. यू आर नाउ को लर्नर्स, यू आर फैसिलिटेटर. आप भी बच्चों के साथ बहुत कुछ सीखेंगे. सब कुछ बदल रहा है. इट्स अ लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग, इट्स अ कॉन्टिन्यूअस लर्निंग. And our chamber is deeply involved with the capacity building of the educators and the youth through the digital inspirational lab. This is the home page of our website. If you go through, that is icsiindia.in. अगर आप इस पर जाते हैं, you will be able to get so many things. और हमारी ई बुक को भी डाउनलोड कीजिए, रीथिंकिंग टूरिज्म पोस्ट पैंडेमिक. क्योंकि हम ये सोचते हैं कि 12th के बाद और ग्रेजुएशन के बाद आपको अगर काम करना है, चाहे पार्ट टाइम जॉब या फुल टाइम, तो आपको कैसे मिले. तो जैसे डिजिटल इंस्पिरेशनल लैब की हम बातचीत कर रहे हैं, हर एक स्कूल, हर एक कॉलेज, हर एक यूनिवर्सिटी में एक कमरा अगर आप डेडिकेट इसके लिए कर दें, तो आपकी यूथ और आपके टीचर्स, everybody would get inspired and the journey can take place village to the global. Think beyond your limits because you matter. The limits of the possible can only be defined by going beyond them into the impossible. And how to master your mind? You're the master of your life. Think positive, stay positive, work positive, talk positive, get up positive, sleep positive. और आपको एक बड़ी अच्छी वीडियो दिखाऊंगा, इंटरेस्टिंग, जो मुझे किसी से मिली. एंड मिस्टर कुलकर्णी है एक, मैं उनका पूरा नाम पता कर रहा हूं. और ये जिंदगी हर कदम एक नई जंग है. कितनी बड़ी चीज है, कितना बड़ा मैसेज है जब आप इसको देखते हैं. आगे चलते हैं. So ladies and gentlemen, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education and skills relevant. हम सब लोग अगर इकट्ठे प्रयास करेंगे ना, तो भारत विश्व गुरु बनेगा. लेकिन the government of India has to spend sizable amount on the education ecosystem. पॉलिसी बनाने के बाद पॉलिसी का इंप्लीमेंटेशन, पॉलिसी की मॉनिटरिंग और पॉलिसी का आउटकम. आवर टीचर्स गॉट टू बी हैप्पी, Our educators got to be happy. Our administrators got to be happy. And ultimately, our students got to be happy, because education is a long process, continuous process, lifelong process. We have to understand. And this program is live on the YouTube channel @ICSI India Live. ICSI India Live. ये प्रोग्राम आपके लिए रोज आना रात को 8 बजे आता है. तो प्रोग्राम के अंत में, let me just see the people those joined. Sakshi was the first to join. Thank you very much, Sakshi. And something very nicely, Paras, thank you very much. And thereafter, we have got Julie Subamam. Thank you very much for joining us. And thereafter, Kim Kipgin, God bless you. Thank you. Gohin, thank you. Thank you. Nancy Sangma, thank you. And then you have got Damini, thank you. Deepak Hazarika, thank you. Thank you. Prachi, thank you. Kalita, thank you. Rishi Mohan, thank you. Anand, thank you. Mukherjee, thank you. Vidhi Jaiswal, ma'am, thank you. And then we have got, let me just see, Claudia, thank you. Lingua, thank you. And then we have got people from Pathankot, thank you. Thank you very much, Mohitji. God bless all of you. And Paras, you have posted so many. Thank you. Thank you very much. And God bless all of you. Sakshi started and Paras finished the posting. And you keep posting whatever comes to your mind. And God bless all of you. And look forward to meeting you at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, yet with the another powerful program. You know, Chandigarh is a beautiful city. You must take a trip to Chandigarh. You must travel to Chandigarh. अगर आप चंडीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी, ये क्या नाम है इसका, पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी, अगर आप पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी का एक राउंड लगाएंगे और सारा एक बार पूरा माहौल देख कर आएंगे, you will feel so very happy. Such a beautiful campus of the Punjab University, which was established, Capitol Complex. You have got Sukna Lake, you've got Rock Garden, you have got so many other facilities. And there's a Buddha garden also, not I'm talking about Delhi, over here. There's a terrace garden, you've got a Rose Festival, you have got Chandigarh Carnival, you've got so many music festivals. It's a beautiful city. It's a city of youth. It's a city of service industry. It's a city which is happening because the advisor of the Chandigarh, Dr. Dharampalji, is a very, very dynamic person. And the new Vice Chancellor, Honorable Lady who has taken over the command of the Punjab University, we wish her all the best. And we hope that under her dynamic leadership and dedicated leadership, Chandigarh will grow further. With these views, ladies and gentlemen, we all meet tomorrow at 8 p.m. yet with another powerful program, because you matter. Youth matter. And we all matter. Let's meet tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ आप सभी का बहुत-बहुत आभार. Thank you very much. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow evening. Stay fit, stay fine, and take care of your health. And happy stay.